and 5th graders, we are on Chapter 3, Bittersweet Moments of Super Kids, The Mysterious Presence. Paul knelt down in front of the dark hole near the floor. Standing behind him, Alex could feel warm air blowing in from the dark expanse beyond. He wondered again what possibly could be back there. Perhaps it was nothing. Maybe the comm watches just needed to be charged, and that's why they had lost contact with Commander Kelly. Alex reasoned that she could be exploring the large room and just hadn't returned yet. But then, why didn't she answer when they called? Did she hurt herself? Could she have tripped over something in the dark and been knocked unconscious? That sounded reasonable. But she said there was some kind of mysterious presence in the room, and there was some writing somewhere. Paul put his hand inside the hole and felt around the back. Well, it feels like a normal wall, he reported with a half smile. Ooh, Missy cried, wincing. How can you even put your hand in there not knowing what's on the other side? Well, I'm getting ready to put my whole self in here in just a minute. I figured this is the best way to get ready. Kind of like feeling pool water with your toes before you jump in. Yeah, Alex thought, but when you go into pools, you come back out. Techno, Paul addressed the robot. Can you scan through this hole and see what's on the other side again? Techno weeped and worried for a moment. He rolled as close as he could get without blocking the hole with his lower body. I read oxygen and dust, like before, Techno reported. After a brief pause, he choked out a beat. Wait, there's something else in there that I didn't catch the first time. The super kids waited in anticipation as Techno finished his analysis. He beeped and buzzed some more as his computer database came up with some answers. What is it, Alex asked the robot. What's back there? Alex put a lot of trust in Techno's abilities. When Alex first arrived at Super Kid Academy, his first friend was this machine of metal and electronic parts. It's not that no one wanted to be Alex's friend. It's just that Alex found it easy to relate to the robot. Maybe it was because he loved computers and technology, or maybe it was because Techno wasn't like everyone else, and that's how Alex felt sometimes. They were both about the same height, and even though Techno was a computer, sometimes he, like Alex, had trouble communicating. So their friendship began. Now, over the past couple years, Alex had gained many more friends, especially his 4 Blue Squad companions. But Techno would always be near the top of his list, even if he wasn't human. Alex knew this was one of those times when Techno's unique abilities could come into play and really help the others. His confidence in what Techno was designed to do was soaring. Techno suddenly stopped worrying. I sense a human in there, alive and breathing. Commander Kelly, Paul said to the 4 other super kids gathered around Techno. So she's all right, Missy said. She let out a sigh of relief. Wait, there's still something else, Techno reported. But it will take me a while to figure out what it is. I don't think I've run into this before. Everyone's eyes turned to Techno. Great, Rapper said with his thumb up. So Commander Kelly is in there and all right, but there's something else too. Hey, Paul, if we wait a moment, we'll know what the mysterious presence is and we might be able to beat this thing, huh? I just knew everything would turn out all right, Missy cooed. Isn't that right, Paul? Rapper asked, looking around him. I'm so glad this is almost over, Missy cheered. Hey, guys! Rapper was darting his brown eyes all around the room. Where's Paul? Oh, no! Missy dropped down on the floor and peered into the hole. Do you think he was taken? Do you think... Who was taken? Came a voice from behind the hole. Paul, Missy continued. Do you think Paul was taken into the hole by some horrible presence? I don't think so, the voice came back. I think he probably entered it all of his own free will when he heard Commander was still in there, alive and well. Do you really think he's... Paul, is that you? Valerie giggled at the joke. Missy blushed. That's not funny, Paul. She slapped the wall above the hole. Granules of dust trickled down like snowflakes. I'm sorry, Paul said from the other side. It was just too easy. Valerie and Rapper joined Missy down at the entrance, a little hesitant. Alex knelt down too. You know, Techno says there's something else in there, Alex warned, and it will be harder for you to see Commander Kelly. I'm sorry, guys, and it will be harder for you to see. Commander Kelly had our only pair of eyeglasses. Paul didn't respond, but instead spat out a few orders. I'm going to go looking around and I'll keep in touch through Val's comm watch. But just to be safe, I'll always come back here every 2 minutes and report in. The super kids nodded their heads. If for some reason I don't come back, then Val's in charge. Missy looked like she was going to protest for a moment, but then conceded. Alex knew that despite their differences, Missy and Valerie had been close friends a long time and trusted each other greatly. I imagine Commander Kelly has just tripped and been knocked out, and I imagine Commander Kelly has just tripped and been knocked out, and I'll have her out of here in a second. If you can, try to follow my flashlight so you always know where I am. Got it? Heads nodded. Valerie verbalized that his instructions were understood and switched her watch to link up with her leaders. Paul's hand appeared from out of the hole and each super kid grabbed it in unison. The stack of hands looked like a crude clay sculpture. Alex's hand was the darkest, on top holding on to Rapper's hand. His hand was on top of Valerie's naturally tanned hand, and she held on to Missy's stark white hand. Missy held on to Paul's hand. They were a unified team. They needed to be. Alex always felt moments like this were bittersweet. He loved feeling the that's that word, guys, you know I can never say, camaraderie, but despised knowing that someone could potentially be entering danger. A moment later, as each super kid released their hand from the stack, Paul's hand drifted into the void beyond. Though it seemed like an eternity, less than 2 minutes later, Paul's hand reappeared at the hole. He hadn't talked much through the comm watches, and he surprised everyone when he suddenly showed up. "Hey guys," he shouted. Every one of the remaining super kids jumped back. Alex even thought he saw Techno roll back a bit. "Paul," Valerie exclaimed, "did you find any clues?" "Not yet," Paul sounded disappointed. "I'm still looking. There's stuff everywhere. You would not believe the junk in this place." "What should we do?" Alex asked. "Well, let me look around more. Just follow my flashlight beam again." "It's too dark in there, Paul," Valerie protested. "Even with your beam on its highest intensity, last time we couldn't follow it for very long, and your voice became garbled in the comm watch. Maybe you went too far. Can you stay more in view?" Paul's hand showed a thumbs up. "Can do," he said. "I'll try to stay closer this time." The next time in, the super kids were able to track Paul's flashlight beam and to talk to him about the messy room for nearly the full 2 minutes he was exploring. Seeing the light and hearing his voice was a comfort to Alex, who just wanted to get Commander Kelly out and the whole mess to be over. Paul returned and stuck his hand out of the hole again to signal his arrival. Alex knew he could have come out farther, but to bend through would be somewhat of a pain, so he just thrust his hand into the room to let everyone know he had returned. At times they could see a piece of his shoe or pant leg, but for the most part it was so dark inside the hole that even those details were concealed. "So?" Missy asked impatiently. "Well, I found a lot more junk, but no sign of Commander Kelly. I need to go farther into the room. I think I saw some of the writing she saw, but it's large and I couldn't make it out in the dark without getting closer. I'll just have to go in deeper." "Paul, are you sure you want to do this?" Missy's concern was evident. "If you go farther, we may lose all communication with you." Paul's hand moved from side to side. "Don't worry," came the corresponding words. "I'll be back again in 2 minutes." 2 minutes came and went, and Paul's hand didn't appear again. Alex, like the rest, was waiting for those familiar fingers to pop into the light and give a cheery hello, like a sock puppet jumping up from behind a stage. But the darkness stayed dark. About 4 minutes had passed since they had last seen the dancing of Paul's flashlight beam or heard the assurance of his voice. They waited in silence. Alex found it hard to believe that it had only been an hour since Commander Kelly first went into the hole and told them about the presence, and then vanished. Techno was sure he detected her, and now Paul too, but Alex couldn't see either one from where he sat. He was directly across from the hole, and Missy was at his right, fiddling with some strands of her blonde hair. On his left sat Rapper and Valerie, both wide question marks on their faces, staring at Valerie's comm watch. It was now reading, "Connection lost." Rapper's eyebrows went up and down in acknowledgement when Alex caught his eye. Then another minute passed, then another, and another. And we will continue tomorrow with Chapter 4, Valerie's Plan.